Big good evening and welcome. Well, it is close to 7:30 this evening. We did say that we would be as close as we could to begin with. It's 7:45, then it was 7:15, it's now 7:30. Big good evening and welcome to what is going to be the first presentation this year. Exclusively, we are streaming exclusively live from Scott Belly Hairdressing tonight in 4K as well, which makes it even better. So, what's it all about? This was originally designed for education purposes for any person that wanted to become a hairdresser and learn the craft, learn how it works. Then we took it a little bit further after the 3 that we originally did and decided to then turn it into not just a DVD presentation but also a presentation where we could promote the product, which tonight we're very honoured to be sponsored by and working with Muck Hair Care products. Big good evening to everybody in Muck Hair Care in Australia this evening. Clive, Leah, everybody that works for Muck, Mark of course, can't forget Muck, Marcus of course, you're the main man, Scott Reynolds, Brad Vincent, if you're on there also tonight watching, great to be associated with you. And also I'm really proud to be the UK Artistic Director, which be good evening to everybody at Muck Central in the UK. I know you'll be watching tonight, Barbara Green, Lawrence of course, Mr Green, my boss, good evening. Also BA, I'm sure you'll be watching tonight, and the lovely Justina and all the team also from Muck UK. Which of course it makes me very proud, as not just a hairdresser and the salon owner, to be able to share with you how these products work in harmony with the cut tonight. You'll see how tonight you can transform a canvas into a magical item at the end of it, and that's what I love about being a hairdresser. A, it's artistic, and B, it's creative, and the whole thing when it comes together works really, really well. The nice thing is we're also being filmed tonight by my younger brother, who is, look, always working away there. It's always good to have my younger brother working, which is great. So tonight, what's it all about? We will work through the program of how the hair works with the system. We'll be working through the cutting, the standing procedure, the hands, how they work in harmony with the body, and also how the sections work in harmony with the haircut. We'll then be looking at the products, how the products work in harmony with the haircut, how the product becomes a tool and what it does to work together with the hair. The idea is obviously that at the end of tonight you'll see the finished product from A to B, and you'll also see how it comes into fruition, and then we'll then do the photographs at the end. Big good evening also to Sarah, Scott tonight and Ben, if you're watching tonight. I know that you'll be on there, all of the Saxon family as well, and I'll be watching of course, not forgetting Big Mate, Grace and Cara, and also Limerick Atkinson. I know you'll be watching because you always watch out for me, it's really good. And our also national friends that are watching also this evening, as well as international friends, and also hairdressers that are watching and non-hairdressers, because I know a lot of clients to Scott Belly Hairdressing watching this evening, so good evening. So without further ado, let's go and introduce you to model number 47. Come on over. Woo! So, big good evening, welcome. Let's give her a big hand tonight for model number 47, Liz Hutty.
Good evening.
So let's give them a little wave, say hello, mum, dad.
Hello, Katie.
Katie, she might be watching. There you go, they're all there tonight. So, are you scared tonight?
A little bit.
I'm scared too. That's it, it's a good job. I mean, I was joking around earlier on. I was joking around earlier on and saying that I was scared. I mean, yes, being a hairdresser can be scary, but it's also an enjoyable job. I really salute anybody who's a hairdresser because it is a great job. It has lots of value and lots of benefits. And the amazing thing is, you get to create an amazing lifestyle for somebody and create something that's different. They come to you first of all with trust, and they also come to you wanting to feel different and feel good, and in turn the hairdresser feels good as well, which is one of the great things that I love about being a hairdresser. So let's talk about what we're doing tonight with model 47, Liz Hutty's hair this evening. We're going to trim the bottom 1/2 inch off. The way that I measure 1/2 inch basically is that's 1 inch there. We're going to go 1/2 inch, nice and clean. Then we'll be coming in through to the sides using C-shaped curvature and using a razor blade to create that shape. We'll then come in to do the finish with a layer, which will be working from the back through to the sides, which will then be a travelling guide in order to give us more shape on the sides. We'll then go through the top with a square and rounded layer, which will go through the sections, how that works in a minute. We'll then come to do the blow dry, which will be working through the products, which I'll go through those in a minute. And we'll put predominantly Velcro rollers in the back, but through the sides we'll be working with the Muck wide plate style stick, which we'll be working with tonight, which again, with its infrared technology on the inside, will not only control the hair, but it will also calm the hair down and give it more shine. We'll be working tonight with the products. We'll be working with Fat Muck Blowout Volumising Mousse, which is the first product we'll be using to cut with. We'll also then be going with a blow dry, which is Head Muck 20-in-1 Miracle Treatment, which we'll be working with after that. And then our star product tonight, which we're finishing with, is Hot Muck. We'll be using the hot serum to finish off with this evening. So it's really a three-part wardrobe tonight. We're going to keep it quite simple. We may then introduce some hair lacquer afterwards. Who's on there tonight, Dad? Because I've seen a few names. We need to say hello to a few people.
I've got to twist my head round.
Don't twist it over, whatever you do, otherwise we won't be able to see the picture in that respect. If you could get a photograph of this, it'd be hilarious to be able to see it.
Claire Hill.
Claire Hill, Mrs. Hill, nice to see you tonight. Hopefully the champ's good as well. And Richard, good to see you with us tonight all the way from Burbage. Woo, it's good.
Jackie Fretson.
Oh, Jackie Fretson. Hello, darling. Nice to see you, sis. Give Jackie a wave because she was the last client tonight. Give her a little wave.
Hi, Jackie.
It's good, it's good. It's good. Rachel Williams, nice to see you tonight, Rachel Williams. I hope you're okay. Good to see you there.
Kate Howard.
Kate Howard. Kate, nice to see you. I really am so grateful that you got me the Razor Blades. Thank you very much for blocks. Good to see you. Mark Garulio, great to see you, Mark. What can I say? Well, we are really, you can see it all tonight. It's there, it's all on the rack. We've got loads and loads of product placement. I mean, just look at the placement. It's just everywhere. The placement tonight. It's the guy that owns Muck. Give a wave. Give Mark a wave.
Hi, Mark.
Just saying there. Good day, mate. Good day. Nice to see you.
Good day.
And give my love to everybody at Muck, and hopefully one day I'll get a chance to come and visit you, as I said.
Right.
So, with the highway of the hair, what we're talking about later on, we'll be working with tonight. We'll be working with the recession bone. We'll be working with the parietal ridge, which is the bone that segregates the top part of the head to the bottom part of the head. We'll also be working with the apex. We'll be working with the upper occipital bone, the occipital bone, which is the protruding bone in the back of the skull. We'll be working with the lower occipital bone. We'll also be working with the mastoid process, which denotes the corner of the chair, so that's where our discipline is. And we'll also be working with the nape of the hair. Those are the bones we're working with tonight. So in order to start tonight's procedure and what we're doing, I always say every haircut starts with a journey. We're going to start tonight with Fat Muck Blowout Mousse, which I know Nick McCaffrey loves this product. Nick, if you're watching tonight, you know what's coming next. Always start with a golf club size piece of hair. You can see literally the product, how strong it is. It's lovely. It's got a lovely foam to it. Now, if you put this on, it basically contains conditioner, which again, we need something to start controlling the hair right from the beginning. So this product actually is now starting to work on Liss's hair. You tend to find that hair, as I say, is like a canvas. You want to be able to start to control that canvas as you're working with it. And the nice thing is, by combing the product through, there's less product wastage and you're actually getting more product into the root. But you didn't know that, did you?
No.
There you go. So now we're going to be looking in, getting a nice clean section. Let me turn the chair. Hold on. Okay, you going that way? Oh, hi, which way are you going? Stage left, stage right. Okay, so now it allows me to comb the hair clean. You see, we've got new lights as well since we last saw you. So we're actually broadcasting not in just 4K, but also broadcasting with new lighting, which is absolutely fabulous. So this is like daylight while we're doing this. It's absolutely beautiful. So it gives us a chance to see, because again, lighting is really important, as to is sectioning. So keep the sections nice and clean, which again just keeps it all tidy. I tend to go from the apex because it's a good starting point. It segregates the back to the front and keeps everything nice and clean. You'd use this procedure also when we do the razoring on the sides, because again, it's really important to be able to do that. So now we're going to go down the back. That's it, you shuffle around there, my little friend. Start doing the old shuffle, you'll be well away. He shuffles to the left, he shuffles to the right, he shuffles all over the place. Right, so now we've got a nice clean section down the back. We're going from the occipital bone next. You wouldn't naturally start from here, but because I can see the amount of hair we've got, we can start from there. Nice clean sections, and then it's legs up with the grip. And then we just come through this side. Again, a nice little tip. Put your thumb to where you want to comb to, just to give you an idea to keep the sections clean. Because again, clean sections, clean haircut. Some of this will look quite easy to some of you that have been hairdressing for years, but those of you that are just starting out, it is quite difficult. I tend to comb downwards this side and comb slightly upwards or across on the other. Okay, to keep everything nice and clean and out of the way, because again, it's really important. When you watch this on playback, you'll be impressed. Hopefully. Joe Steve, nice to see you with us tonight. Hopefully you get the names right in a minute.
On the sides go.
Thank you. Hopefully you get the names right in a minute. I'll give you a pair of glasses, you'll be able to see it. I know, because you're reading on the side, I know you can see it, it's fine, don't worry about it. Right, so, this is the 3-part section. At least you know it's live tonight, everybody. It's good. So, good evening. Nice to see Joe. We think it's Joe. Right, so we're looking for a slight curve in this. Now, if we cut this with a curve as it is, slightly on the angle, that then creates a straight line. If you cut it in a straight line, it will then bend up slightly. So the idea is, when you cut the middle, you cut it straight, and then you slightly curve it, and then that creates that curve, which then in turn becomes a straight line. So again, cutting through the comb, you want the real tightest part of it. Going on a half part, or we're taking half an inch off, and that just keeps the line absolutely solid. Again, sharp scissors is really important. This part's really important because now you're going to come down at an angle just slightly. The arm goes up, which then just gives it that angle, and then cut, and then we're now creating that slight angle. Only so you can see, if you look at the section what I've created, you see that's just slightly at an angle. That also creates that angle that it denotes to what I'm going to. You can see there's a slight kink in this side. Just work with that, and then literally just take it off, and you can see that line now is level, and it's got a nice little curve in it, so when it's blow dried it'll be straight. And we now repeat the process for the next 2 sections, which will go to upper occipital bone next, and then go into the apex afterwards, which again, now the root or the highway of the hair that we were talking about earlier on, this now really comes into play with what we're doing. This will be a fairly quick cut tonight. There'll be more emphasis afterwards on styling afterwards, which will take a little bit longer, which then we'll really see the muck products come into play with how it works. And again, with being the UK Artistic Director, it's great because you get a chance to share all these techniques and everything, how it all works. Some of you may have seen these before, others it's a question of it may be something new, but again it's just things that really denote us as hairdressers that are different. And the thing is, most people think hairdressing is really easy. It is if you practice. Practice makes perfect. Many years ago, when I used to work for Tony and Guy, we spent a long time obviously practicing over and over again to get things clean. And I worked for Paul Mitchell, and again it was a question of just getting things right, and the videos are soon cutting program, which is nice because then you're in a position where you can learn things, and again you never stop learning. Some of these techniques may be new to you tonight, some of them may not be, but you can see that slight curve in there. You never forget the basics if you taught the basics correctly, and it all starts at the beginning, the foundation. If you get the foundation right, then the rest of it follows correctly and then becomes something beautiful. So you can see now some coming through, again that slight curve, just to keep everything there. Declan, good to see you on there. Is it Declan?
Declan, yeah.
Good to see you, mate. It's alright, over here, thanks. Nice to see you, mate. Hope you're okay. You need to contact me about your haircut when you're ready. Good to see you. I knew you'd come on at some point. It's great. Great chef. He's obviously got the night off tonight. It's probably his girlfriend. So now, as we come through, you can see what we're doing. Just put the slight curve in. Again, it just really finishes it out nicely. So now at this point, you'd see the cut. We've got the curve. Now we're coming to the sides. Hi there. So what we're going to do now is go from the apex round to the recession, crossing the parietal ridge. So we're just going to go round on a slight curve. What you're looking for is a horseshoe section. So it actually looks similar to a horseshoe. Darren, good to see you with us tonight. I hope you're okay. Any of your friends that come here, by the way, because I've tagged them all also.
Oh, okay.
So you may get some of your friends that may appear. You say, that's one of my friends on there. It's good. Just keep calling them out, Dad. It's fine. You're doing well to read it sideways. I'll try and rectify that for you, alright, for next time. So now, just being careful not to take too much off the side, because again, we're looking to keep that angle. So we're only taking the tiniest amounts off here, but again, it's discipline just to make sure that you've not missed anything, because if you left it out and thought, oh yes, I shall just leave that, I'm not going to bother with it. It's a question of just keeping things clean and tidy and in a system. So now we can see the shape there on the side. Let's come back through this way now, which is just to repeat the process. You see I put, what's the matter? Okay, I thought they'd just gone off for a second. Don't worry. His shoelaces come undone. Don't you worry. I'll tell you what, why don't I just film while you just do your shoelace up? Yeah, let me just take it from there. I can see you slipping over. Don't worry, I'm just going to take the camera for a second. Look at this. Here you go. I'm to do his shoelaces. Look at that. You can really see what's going on here. You can tell it's live. I do apologise about this. Get yourself an ice cream. Ah, it's back on again. No, so you can't get the staff.
You can tell it's live.
Do you need a pair of glasses? Try not to tread on your shoelace. Right, you need to come over here on the stairs. That's it, come over this side. All that excitement.
Tell it's live.
Who else is on? We've got a lot of people on there. I can't see the names.
Rick Morris.
Yeah, Rick Morris. Good to see you. Woo-ah, brother. Nice to see you on there. Thank you for your very kind message of the week when I was invested as the master of my lodge. Hopefully I'll give you a chance to come over and invite you as a guest, so that would be nice to see you. Hope Lynn's alright and Ryan and the family. Good to see you on there tonight. I'm guessing Paul Long will join us at some point. It's always good. So thank you to everybody that's joined us so far. I know there's a few names on there, I've just seen quite a few, which is nice. Right, so we've now got the back cut, everything's nice and level, we've checked the corners. We're now going to change and go to the sides. So again, the discipline is apex to mastoid process, which subdivides the back. This is now doing the sides before we go into the layers on the top. So just keep everything nice and clean. You're thinking to yourself, I'll be lost at this point. It's a lot involved, isn't it? Really, so you gotta know what you're talking about. You cannot talk mumbo jumbo. So now we're going to get a razor blade. So we've got a razor blade which has got basically a thinning edge and a cutting edge. What you're after is a cutting edge, something that's quite thin. So the idea is it really cuts it. Now, what we're going to be doing here is creating, as I said, a C-shaped curvature. So the idea of this is you can either glide the blade or chip the blade. If you chip the blade, it gives you a very soft look. If you glide the blade, it will be more of a natural look. So I tend to go with gliding sometimes, it's nice. Now you're after zero elevation, so you go across the face, holding the fingers quite nicely, putting the razor in and then just literally just glide it in. If it's a nice sharp blade, it will just glide. Also the hair needs to be fairly wet while you're doing it, because again it will make a difference. And then just literally as you cut it, it glides away. You're only taking the tiniest amount off because we don't want to take too much off, because we're sort of happy with the length. And again, you can see there as we're taking it out, and then as we come through towards this bottom panel, we're now just literally pulling it round and towards myself as I'm doing it. So I'm curving myself as I'm doing it with my finger. And what that does is it starts to create that shape as it's coming through. Because again, cutting with a razor blade is really important, and then you want to leave that length at the bottom. You'll now get a disconnection between the two, so you need to just pull that in and make sure you've not missed anything. Probably just be the corner, tiniest bit, off it comes. That's now blended. Kaylee, nice to see you with us tonight. Hope you're okay. Let's just spin around this way. All of a sudden we're in the right position for the camera. There we go. And the lighting's good too. How's the lighting look, Dan?
Good.
Okay, look for your clue where you were and what you're doing. Take off the edge what you were doing and glide. And just make sure everything's level, because it's really important. You tend to find when you're cutting sometimes one side can be slightly longer than the other, so it's just a question of just getting things right. Because again, you can rectify it bits later when you look in the mirror. But again, it's just making sure things are right. Again, just make sure your blade's sharp when you do this, and then you sort of dragging the fingers. You're pulling the finger, or as I say, dragging the finger. It tends to maintain the length and support it, and then you put the blade in and slightly cut towards your fingers. As you can see, it's really just trimming it lightly, but it's just giving it that edge, just to soften it off, which is nice. And again, zero elevation, I cannot stress it enough, just while you do this. This is quite advanced what we're doing tonight, so for those of you that have just started hairdressing and never used a razor blade, don't be scared. I strongly recommend that you try it on a mannequin doll first, and just really, it's got a guard on it, so there's no way you can cut yourself or the customer. It's just a question of just being confident and sort of working with it in harmony. Okay, both sides there cut. Everything looks level. I've got a smile on the guest's face as well, so that's even better. Right, now we're going to go over to the layer. So again, we go back to the disciplines before. Just keep calling names out if you see any names, Dad. it's good. And he'll turn his head to the side. Just don't pass out if the blood goes to your head. Oh. That's it. So now we go down the back again. We're going to be going to the occipital bone. Now this layout, we're just looking for something that's a multi-layer. We're not looking for anything that's really kind of too complicated. The idea is with it, we're going to create a nice shape that you can wear flicked out, curly, or you can go with something that's very smooth, or as Big Mate calls it, smoth. Right, so what we'll do now is, this will be a travelling guide. Pull the first section out. Again, it's really important, the thumb leads this way. So for some of you this will seem unnatural. We're looking for a level part of the hair. Cut into the second knuckle. So if you cut past there, you'll take your fingers off. Alice, nice to see you with us tonight. I hope you're okay. Thank you very much for being here. Right, now travelling round, so we're going from 6 o'clock through to 8 o'clock, and we're using the mastoid process now and the corner of the chair. But you can see I'm angling this up nice and high, so we've actually got the height on it, and we've also got the cleanliness on the cut. Again, the cleanliness is really important. Now the hand spins over the opposite way, and the thumb faces this way, which is the discipline. Now I'll just take that edge off. You can see where I previously cut to. Now just turning slightly as I'm coming round, and obviously you've got a shuffle. Good job I did that lace up as well, otherwise you'd be tripping over it. That's it.
Sure, keeping it out of the way.
Oh, good, stay out of the way of it. That's right, I don't want you tripping over. Everybody wonder what's going on at home. They'll think, oh, blimey. Right, let's move around this way to repeat the process. So now we go to the upper occipital bone. Again, if I can stress, the sections have got to be clean. And again, this Fat Muck Blowout Mousse is a really good product which basically helps keep everything in order.
Jessica Pickering.
Nice to see you, Jessica Pickering, tonight. Hello, Jessica. It was a pleasure to run with you on Sunday for part of it before you ran off and left us. But thank you, part of my marathon training group there. Great to see you. Good to say good evening to Lee as well. Jessica, or shall I say, woo! So now you'll be saying to me, where is it? Where's the woo? That's what we do at Saxon. Right, so now we've pulled the length out, you can see where we're going. Again, joining to where we went last. Second knuckle's the discipline. It's now a travelling guide as we're moving around. Very physical this is. There's a lot of work involved in that.
We usually just talk about holidays.
I do, that's right. Holidays, what you're doing tonight, where you're going, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
How you going out tonight? You might be after this. Let's see. So now you can see again on the corner of the chair, mastoid process, which is the discipline area, starting to lay out. Come round to this side now, the camera's on the right side again, the thumb leads, because again all this discipline is really important. I cannot stress enough that when you cut hair it's really important to have a discipline with it, because if you cut corners and get quite sort of shoddy with it, you end up making mistakes. So you've got to make sure that things are really clean cut, which is what it's all about. Okay, so now at this point you'd pull this out, we call it a quadrant, which is a corner, and then that just makes sure everything's clean. You comb from the underneath because you get a more natural look of what's going on. And then just let you just pull this out. You can just see if there's anything that needs to come off, okay? So now we're going to go to the apex, which is the top part. For any roofers are watching tonight, it's always quite easy to remember. Some people do think to themselves, how do you remember those names? Well, I had 2 weeks to learn these names, and I went on stage and then thought, I got quite worked up about it, and said the names the first time round. And I said, right, does anybody have any questions? And someone in the audience said, what are those names again? Ever since then, I've never forgotten them. So it's practice makes perfect, really. Just learn what you're talking about and what you're doing, and you cannot go wrong. At the end of this year, it'll be my 31st year. So when you have to turn and go,
McCaffrey.
Nick McCaffrey, woo, or yeehaw! Good to see you, bro. Maybe okay. Where are you this week? Are you in England or are you abroad? That's the question. Or are you with Sharon and the cats? Or you may even be with Dan. But nice to see you with us tonight. You need to come on here as a model. And congratulations on your forthcoming cycling 24-hour thing that you're doing for charity. I need to sponsor you. So well done, bro. That's good. So now you can see we're coming around this way, keeping everything clean on there just to make sure everything's right. And again, it's the angle just to make sure it's good. So now at this point, we take the grips out, and what we're looking for now is to join in. I'll come on this way, Dad. See, it's shuffling now, it's good. Right, so every part of this that we're going to take now here will then join into this part, which is on the mastoid process. So we don't go any far forward or any far back. It's literally, it stays in the same position, and everything comes to this point, which is the corner of the chair or the mastoid process, until we run out of hair. And the idea with that is that we then enable us to give us a shape on the sides. Hannah Bennett, nice to see you tonight. Hope you're okay. Welcome.
Ian Phillips.
Ian Phillips. Good to see Ian Phillips. It's always good to have some new faces and some new names on there tonight. It's good. It really is. So now we can see we're coming through here. Everything's clean. So that's that side there, which now has given us a lay around that side, that edge. Now we're going to go around the other side, which again, remember, we're going like this with the thumb. We're flicking it over to that side, which the thumb is the discipline. A lot of people tend to cut like this and go over the head, which is fine, but you tend to lose your guide when you're doing it. You need to think about your back, which is really important when you're cutting hair. I'm standing really straight tonight, so that's really important. Also, I've got no stress on my hands. If Dad puts the camera on my hands, you can see I'm not bending it into an awkward position. I'm bringing the hair physically to me, and I'm standing there and making it work for me. So all I'm really doing is directing the hair into a position rather than bending into an awkward position. So you need to think about that as hairdressers, about your well-being, which is really important, and really what's going to affect you for the rest of your life. So in every section you cut and every way you stand, you need to think about how it's going to affect you. You're going to have over repetitive strain injury, or are you going to be taking care of yourself and looking after yourself for the future? And these are things that as professionals we have to think about. So that's one of the reasons why I stand straight with my back straight, and I'm able to work with my arms straight as well. So it's very important. If you don't do that now, then I strongly recommend that you do start to do that. So segregation again into the hair. We're now going to be working from the apex through to the upper occipital bone. So our next part, let's go around this way. I think it's going to work for you, so you can see everything. You can't, but the camera can. Actually, we'll go this way around. We'll go from this angle. Right, so we're lifting everything up now. Now the idea with this is, the most important part of this is to make sure that everything's level. So watch my arm as I do this. Here we go. So we go up, the arm's moving. That's it. Now the arm dictates how much this hair moves up or down. So I need it to stay level, so this is the angle. You will find it will pull on this muscle. If it's pulling on this muscle, then you know it's working. So it should actually feel like somebody's got a rope in the ceiling and it's pulling your arm up. Now you're going to move round slightly. Same principle again. Lifting it up again. It's good discipline, all this is.
Dave.
Who, sorry?
Dion.
Dave Dion. Dave Dion?
Dave.
Nice to see you with us tonight. I'll get you a pair of glasses in a minute.
I like a job to look at some of these.
You're doing well, don't I? Okay, that's fine. So we've now got a clean section there. Now, at this point, most people would then step to the side and pull it out like this. In fact, if you go around this way, spin your body round where I am now, look, you can see I'm still facing the guest in the mirror, and all I'm doing now is altering the angle, but the arm is doing all the work. So I'm now just pushing it up slightly, and I'm still able to maintain that conversation about where they're going on holiday this year, are they going out tonight, or whatever they are doing. So it just makes everything easier. And you're still facing forward, rather than facing backwards and somebody seeing your back. So now you take the corner, which is the quadrant. Remember, this part has been cut at a slight angle, so we need to just check at an angle. So that's the first quadrant. Now we'll go through to the second. So you're learning a lot tonight, aren't you?
I am learning a lot.
Ooh, I'm going to go home and cut hair. That's it, Katie, look out. Mummy can cut hair. That's right, yeah, exactly. Now if you look in the mirror you can see this is bending round, but if you shake it you should start to see the layers appear and you can really start to see the movement in it. Oh yeah, you can see that quite nice. If you just come in with the camera a bit, Dad, you can just see it. On that, so you can see the layers now, that's it. So you can see the layers moving, how it's working, so that actually shows exactly what's going on. So there's quite a lot going on tonight. It's a multi-angle layer, which really gives us a different look. Right, so now we're going to be working with the parietal ridge. Everything above the parietal ridge is a square layer. Everything below it is a rounded layer. That's the part that denotes what's going on next. So now I'm just going to lift this up. Everything goes square into the air until we run out of hair. Hair in the air. So the arm stays straight. So we go to the parietal ridge. Notice how the music's getting bigger, it's building up. Now it's rounded, so you've got no hair there, no hair there, hair in the middle, which is a triangle. We'll take that off. So now we've got to imagine where that parietal ridge is as we're working with it. See how all the bones are coming into play with the cut now. So when you cut this, it's really important to be really, really disciplined with it, because again, a lot of people tend to get lazy. They go like this when they cut layers. You know, keep it tight, keep it really, you know, taut as you're cutting. It's really important. Because again, clean sections, clean haircut, and that's really what it's all about. So now we're going through there. Again, when I go on the road and do teaching in salons, it's just little habits that people tend to pick up over the years that you want to try and diminish. And
Sharon Lavender.
Sharon Lavender, nice to see you tonight. Hope you're okay. Hope Stuart's okay also. I have to make sure I get the names right. Lav's okay, and Amy's alright as well. Hope you're keeping well. Nice to see you on there. Woo! It's all good. So again, it's important just to, you know, get these.
Paul Sutter.
Paul Sitter, good to see you. Hope you're okay. That's it, I'm over here. Thanks, Dad. Hope you're okay. It's good. Thank you for joining us tonight. And again, that's the first side. So now we go around to the other side. That's it. So now we have to remember the parietal ridges. So again, I love teaching. It's really nice to be able to share these techniques tonight with everybody. Some people may learn them, some people may not, but it's just great to be able to do it. You know, it's an interesting world, hairdressing. Some people like it, some people don't. It's full of art and excitement and fun. And again, just basic discipline makes it more interesting for you. And again, the use of products and tools, it just makes it a lot more easier. You have to remember now just to go with a rounded layer, which again is really important. Just move lift around this way. That's it. You can see things better this way. That's it. So let's just take the layer now. We'll go for a square layer. Again, the arm's really important as I'm doing this. Second knuckle is really, really important while you're doing this, because again, on the second knuckle, that's when you really can sort of control the hair. You don't cut yourself. So again, a lot of people tend to cut themselves on the knuckles. Tend to cut themselves on the, you know, like the bottom part of the knuckle. That's because you go past your second knuckle. So anybody who does that, you know the discipline, that's the discipline. So they're all simple things which people tend to forget. They get into a conversation and then take it off. So, you know, the odds are against you, but you just have to make sure that you keep yourself disciplined. Right, so now we're going to go back and segregate the hair. This again is another quadrant. Going at the parietal ridge. Everything above the parietal ridge was square, so we're just lifting that up now and making sure that's level. And then we come into here. Everything below the parietal ridge was slightly rounded. So we're now just pulling that out just to make sure that that's all level as well. Okay, that's the first side completed. Now we're going to go through to the second side, as if by magic. Come round this way. That's it, there we go. Nice. Where's he going now? He's behind you, he is. That's it, stay where you are.
We've got to go around the other side of you.
Stay there, my little friend, it's good. Okay, nice. Nice to see you got your shoelace tied up and you've got your glasses on, that's good. Smoth, really smoth. I like it. Very good. That's predictive text, that's what Big Mate wrote. Smooth one line, it came out smoth. So if you're wondering what smoth is, that's it. Okay, so that basically now concludes the cut. Which you're thinking, yay. So now we're going to include our next product into the product wardrobe. We're going to go for 20-in-1 Miracle Treatment, which basically contains shine, volumizer. Just need 4 pumps of it. It basically will give you volume, smoothness, shine, lift, just about everything you want in hair that you really want to protect it, repair it. It does it all, just in one product. It actually is our best seller in the salon right now. A lot of people really like it. When I used it before on the video, people were saying, I really want that. That looks really cool. It will be amazing. The finish tonight will be incredible. It'll be completely different. And then you'll sort of see how it all comes together. It's just nice. So we're now going to do the blow dry. It will get quite noisy with the hairdryer in a minute, but I will talk over it because before, of course, in the past we've switched off at this point and said, that's it. All it is a little one sheet. Again, all about protection in the neck. Very important. Well, so there's 3 things you're looking for when you're being a hairdresser. Number 1 is world-class customer service, or as close as you can get to world-class customer service. Number 2, consistency. Consistency in cut, consistency in your performance. Number 3, added value. That's what you're after. Anything that's added value that you can add into the service. Those are the 3 things that Scott Bailey Hairdressing we try to do, and that's what we try to encourage into the hair. Okay, so now, as we're going into this blow dry, we're looking to grab the airflow. So the airflow's going, so I'm going to grab it with my hand, smooth it onto the hair as I'm doing it. The idea is then it will shine against the hair and you'll see the shine straight away. If you actually dried it upwards, it would look quite sort of static and matte looking. The easiest way to explain this to you is imagine my arm is a piece of snake skin. Okay, it's got pieces that are rough one way and smooth the other. When you blow dry in a downward motion, it lies flat like conditioner on the hair and it reflects the hair like a mirror. If you dried it upwards, it would be quite rough and it would then look very dull and matter. So anybody that puts the hair upside down in the morning, please don't do it. Try to dry it with your hair in a downward motion. I'll try to top you out. And you'll find that you'll get a better effect. So really has to start from the beginning, and that's where the discipline is. As I said, discipline is really important. Okay, again, if you colour hair, that makes hair lie smooth and gives it shine. If you put a conditioning pack on and leave it on, again, it really works like get shine hair now. Really shine, isn't it? Oh, look at that tone. It's really good. Georgie did a great job. But not watching tonight, so I think she can get Wi-Fi where she's left of it. Again, you want to get as much moisture out of this as possible, and then really it's a question of just getting the finish done with the brush and the dryer. That's sort of like the last piece. So Katie, if you're watching tonight, Katie, you'll be seeing the finish coming in a moment, and when you see Mummy's hair next time, it will look really nice. If you're watching this on a pre-recorded video, next time I see you, we'll have some fruit together. Okay. So let's get an attachment. I always like to work with an attachment on the dryer, and we'll get sort of a nice size round it. So full speed. I tend to work in quadrants, so imagine there's a cross on the head, so you sort of go 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's just segregate it off. What we're looking for is to use literally the control of the dryer for this. So we're going sort of out of the roots first to make sure the roots are dry. And then because this is a brush that's got aluminium on it, you can use it to bend hair a bit like a set of straighteners. So if you heat it up and let it cool down, it will reform into a bond of where you want to go with it. So you can sort of see now. Let it cool, there's the flip. There's the flip. That's it. There's the flip. You can sort of see the finish, which you've got wrapped on. So again, a lot of people don't know that, but that's one of the good things about the aluminium core brushes that we can use to mount hair straighteners. That's it, you see, we've all got good juices. As long as everything's dried properly, that's one of the reasons why I use this, because you can really get more finish. So if you've got short hair, or you want to have a flick or something, you can do it all with these brushes. All you need to do is just make sure it's dried nicely, and then literally just allow it to cool, so then the hair bonds reform into the correct shape, and the correct shape is the shape of this brush. If I wanted a nice flick, then I would go for a smaller brush. If I want a more relaxed flick, I go for a larger brush. But the idea is now you can see, just get that on there, let it cool for a second, and and then you see the flick come off it straight away. And it just finishes it out. It's there, just got the kick, just there. So it's just quite nice. Many years ago when I started hairdressing, we used to get a Denman brush and it used to do exactly the same thing. It was quite difficult, but these are quite easy because they're just dry hair, like laundry on a windy day. This is what we find, yes, and that's right. This is a different basic product. Yeah. That's the way. Okay. We just need something quite natural looking, so you can see, just pull it, a little bit of tension on it. And again now just elevate it slightly just as I do this, and as it comes off, there's the clip. Because the layers have been cut round, it just gives it a little bit more sort of shape. And now just come in here, going into the root. This is called truck and trailer. The brush is the truck and the dryer is the trailer. That's it. There it comes, there it comes. Woo, it's coming round. So now you can see the truck and trailer technique. You try and keep the end of the attachment of the dryer on, that's if it doesn't fall off, because sometimes these tend to fall off when they get warm, so you watch now, they'll probably fall off and I'll bit my hand. So the idea is just keep the pressure on nicely, elevated, and then you can sort of see as it comes through. So that cool, take it off, there's the flick. So call it flick and kick. Right, now we're going to go through a diagonal back section. A lot of people tend to work a horizontal. Diagonal back section will give you more lift at the roots and more shape on the sides. So we are. Okay. The idea is now you can sort of see what we're doing now. The brush needs to turn to the side if you want to stay to get the angle. So now I let that just turn slowly. Take it off and now all you start to create a shape. Just get a bit more on the roots, I'm not quite happy with that. Again, we'll go through this in a minute with the muck styling stick. And again, you can just see that gives it the kick and the finish. Right, now we'll go to the next part, which again is a fairly quick blow dry. So diagonal back section. Okay. And again, now we just take the sections, we'll switch for a minute, need a bit more lift out the top, so we're just going to go in there with the brush just to lift it. But again, it's quite wavy, so you need to be sort of going in at this right from the start, just to make sure that everything's right, which will give it the effect. Again, you can see I'm being quite, sort of masterful with this brush. I'm really sort of putting the brush in the right angle, also placing the dryer in the right direction. It's all really important. Let it dry. As it cools down, there's the shape. It just emphasises where it's going. Okay, now we're going to go through again. Repeat the process. Like I say, it's fairly quick. Just being proactive with the dryer and the section. So now I'm going through to the top. That's it, don't worry, you stay where you are, it's fine. I'll just do all the walking. Alright, so I've got my Fitbit on. I've got some good steps on this. That's it. Okay, now you can see again, just slightly lifting up as I'm doing this. Which again just gives it a nice finish. And that's what it's all about. Give it a little bit of body. You pull the brush slightly forward while you're doing this, it just gives it that little bit of extra body that you require for the blow dry. Just think, I think about this in my head when I'm doing your hair. I never actually talk about it, I'm thinking while I'm talking. That's multitasking, it's dangerous for a man. Hopefully I'll do it well. I've not quite mastered ironing and watching television and talking at the same time though yet, which ladies are able to do quite naturally. Right, here we go. Through to the kick part. There's my friend with the camera. He's back again. I was again. The camera's there. It's quite cool actually. You put the camera on some people to get them out. I just seem to come alive. So Okay, we go on to spin it round. Again, just to finish off, onto the face, let it cool, take it off, and really start to the shape now. So just bring around this way. There we go. Oh, it sounds like the music stuck. Is it? What is this? Well, the music's stuck. Well, at least you know it's live. This is the first time I've had to go over and do this. How was all that? So I'm just literally just stopping and started. There you go. It's all fun. At least we know it's all real. It's not pre-recorded. Okay, so now we're going to go through this side again. Where's the music? Oh, there we are. Excellent. Right, so now we're into this corner. You can actually see the difference between both sides. Remember, we're going to go through this again in a minute with the style stick. So, back on again. Here he comes. He's coming round. Shuffling round, that's it. Okay, so now again. Oh, this should get a really good angle from there now. Okay, so don't be frightened to get the dryer on. Really get right in there with the dryer immediately. Again, it's all about control of the hair. Okay, so heat it up, let it cool down, take it off. You can really sort of see that kick straight away. And the nice thing is you can see the reflection immediately as soon as you do it. Stay where you are, stay up to need the angle. So you need the angle with it on. No, I need the angle. We need zoom range. Thank you. That's good. Don't elbow you. Alright. What's he filming now? Good stuff. He's there, he's filming. Right, so now, again, it's really just the use of power. Again, you could use the cool trigger if you wanted to on the hair. I like doing a blow dry like this because it really is a question of being quite strong with the blow dry. Again, back at hairdressing college, we were all taught to use the dryer and the brush long before straighteners came out. And we're talking the 80s. You know, everything was all sort of round brush blow dried. It was all off the roots. Because again, the root lift's really important. That's where it all comes from. Okay, so now I'm just parroting again. Make sure the nozzle's in the right direction. And again, it is a very powerful blow dry. Again, it's all about being able to control the hair and do it right. So let it cool down. It's just using those sections to create that angle, which again just makes all the difference. You can see where we're going with it now. And again, it's nice because with a round brush you can actually change the angle quite a bit. So by means you can go that way, wherever you want to go with it. It moves quite freely, as opposed to a paddle brush. It's quite difficult. Let's go around here. Get in there now. You know more about a round brush by the end of this tonight. See where the kink come in. That's coming off the crown. Just go in there now and really drying it. Get a nice powerful dry. Which again is really important. You want to get it as straight as you can. And again, it's really important for the blow dry. Okay, and again, you can sort of see where we're going with it. Let's just get that, hold it up slightly, angled, and then flick it off. And you can really sort of see the finish. Okay, now we're going to go through to the apex, just before we come into the final quadrant. Again, it's just keeping it nice and clean. Again, if it's difficult hair, slow it down. It's like if you're ironing a shirt, if you want it fast, the creases don't come out. If you iron it slow, the creases disappear. If you iron it slow, the creases go. That's it. Okay, last 5. There we go. So now you can see we're on 3 parts of the dry done. Now we're about to come into the 4th and final part. Now we're going to go into, again, a diagonal back section. We'll go straight in. Literally straight in there. get right in on the roots. Again, it's really important. Again, a blow dry is really important, I think. Hold it in the right position, take it off and release, and it just gives you the angle. A little bit on the side here, we'll just put that back in where it belongs. Again, really important. I used to watch this being done many years ago, and I used to think, God, that's incredible to actually be able to see the angle of hair change when you use a brush. It's really good. It just finishes things out quite nicely. Okay, so now we're just going to go through the next part. So again, we'll just go up at an angle, diagonal back section, which again just makes a big difference. Straight in with a brush. You may find it easier to hold the dryer slightly under the body. When you do that, you can actually get a little bit more of an angle when you dry. So I tend to find that works quite nicely. Especially when you've got a little bit of kink as well. And let it cool and it goes back into position. Okay, this part now. Power dry again back in there. Come on this side now, remember to smile. Nice smile. Okay. Okay, so now we'll switch over. This thing's over to learn as a hairdryer with hairdresser used to be ambidextrous. We'll go through now the opposite way and dry with the hand the opposite way. Again, you can see we've got a slight pink on this side, a little bit more than last one. Over on the other side, you just want to get in there. It's not as curly as it used to be when I first started doing your hair. You can really sort of see now just how this works. Again, just really doing it nice and steady, nice and slow. Get the nozzle right on the dryer and on the brush, and you can see just by doing that, just creates a little bit more of an angle. And a little bit more lift as well, but to make sure you've got everything, you've not missed everything. And again, it really does make a big difference, this does, to the finish. Like a nice little workout. Okay, let's get that around this way now. Let's go around the opposite angle. Just pricing to get the brush in there, really pull it, and we'll section it again in a minute to make sure it's there. Again, you can really sort of see the changes now. One of the reasons I've done this is because you can see the control with the brush, but also how the product works in harmony with the hair. You can sort of see now that shine really coming through on this product. Again, you need to see how these products work. They're equally as important as the cut that I've done. So you can get a chance to see everything how it works. Which is good. So now we'll go around this part. Take a little piece of hair. Again, it's nice to do everything live. People get a chance to see what really goes on. I mean, we could have done Bliss's hair without the video on, and then just come back, and people could then sort of see the finished effect. But instead, there's no hiding, there's no lying, it's all done for real. So hold it there, and then literally fly it all round, and you can sort of see how everything goes. Okay, it's better we can actually hear now. Magic. Okay, so now we've got a part to blow dry. So what we're going to do now is go through the haircut again. We're on the dry relationship of the haircut. Somebody else joined it? Okay, let's have some names.
Joanne Stewart.
Joanne Stewart, one of our other models. Hi Joanne, hope you're okay. Good to see you there. Nice to see your art. Nikki Gower. Nikki, great to see you, hope you're okay. Thanks very much for your message to say it's nice that we've come back, thank you.
Josh Jones.
Josh Jones, woo! JJ, good to see you. What happened to Alex Binns' car the other day? Look like he's seriously had a crash. I hope he's alright. When you see him next time, give him my best. Literally.
A giant.
Who's that?
A giant.
A Jayet. Good to see you with us tonight. As with any of our international viewers tonight.
Anna Pryor.
Anna Pryor. Good to see you, Anna. Hope you're okay. I've seen Anna Pryor quite a bit on there actually. Nice to see you, Anna. Thank you very much for liking things and for joining us tonight. So you've seen how we're taking all the sections. Again, just going to the second knuckle just to make sure everything's nice and clean on there. If you've not had your name called out, apologies. We are having to, well, Dad's having to read it with his head upside down. Do it. That's it. Our contortionist. It's Harry Houdini. That's it. It's his nickname. Okay.
Shoot the camera as well.
Who said that? Did somebody say shoot the camera?
No, say
Oh, right, okay.
no, I'm saying as well as having to
Shoot with the camera, okay, that's fine. Someone said shoot the cameraman.
shoot the camera.
Yeah, that's it. Give everybody a wave with the camera up with you there. Look in the mirror and give yourselves a wave, that's it. It's nice to see you there. Don't let you get scared. I like to be seen. So you wouldn't have thought that you used to be extrovert on stage as a DJ, would you? Thanks, oh yeah, yes, absolutely. Let's come round this way. That's where I get it from. I used to watch Dad when I was younger. That's it. So now you can see the more you move the blade, the more it softens and puts more of a section in as well. So you can just sort of see how it all works. And this now just sort of keeps everything nice and clean.
Blend the Bailey.
Hello darling, hope you're okay. Nice to see you, hope you're okay. Looking forward to my pasta later. Great, looking forward to the run also tomorrow. So hope you're alright. Looking forward to seeing the office furniture and the way the office looks later. I'm sure I'll get a chance to see it. Okay, so now we're going to go through the layers into the back. So what we're going to do is really just lift it up into the hair. Hair? Yeah. I know what I mean. Hair. Okay, so again, this is called fanning the hair around. So just literally go in there, soften that off. This again adds to the concept of what we did earlier on with the layering. The layering is an invisible layer. This really just softens the lines off on the edge. Not that it really needs it, but if anything, it just adds to the splendour of the finish and really just gives it a more natural finish. I tend to find softer lines always make things look a little bit more interesting.
Ian Graham.
Is that right?
Ian Graham.
Ian Graham. It's Ian Amazing Graham. Nice to see you, Ian Amazing Graham. Hope you're all right there. Hope Mandy's all right as well, and your daughter. Good to see you there all the way from Manchester. Good to see you join us tonight. So again, that just gives us a nice soft look. Okay, now we're going to go in and use the Muck white plate straighteners. And the nice thing with these is they create, when we've got a lot of positivity on the hair, as in static, let's roll them over there, the red light, so I can't see if you're filming or not on there, the red lights that are in there, sorry, it's okay, it looks as if it's slightly off angle, the red lights that are in there basically take away the positivity and turn it into negativity. So we're using a wide plate tonight. Here's a little present for you.
Thank you.
You have that just for a second, thanks. And then what it will do is calm the hair down and give it more shine, which is really what it's all about. Cheers for a second. Okay. Do two sizes, of course, wide plate and normal standard salon plate as well. I love these straighteners, this is my favourite straighteners. I'm not just saying that, probably just sound really corny, but working at the NEC at the barber show with Muck 3 years ago, I was given a pair of these and I had to take people on section and just basically bring them up on the stand. And I had to straighten the hair with them without the use of hairspray, which is what we're doing tonight. You can really sort of see how good they are. Okay, nice and comfortable. So obviously before I'd used competitors' straighteners, but then I went with these and then converted all the team in the salon to them and numerous clients. So you can see them smoking slightly, that's the product. So now we turn it slightly as we're working, and that just gives us, that looks just come out of it. You can really see that now, that bend in there. You should see it with a high definition. Okay. We're using a diagonal back section because again it's designed by Finalizing. It works so well. It works with the shape of the skull, gives you a little bit more body off the roots. Again, a wide plate's quite nice. It just really emphasises what the straighteners are doing. You can really see the shine on it. Again, it's really important to just make sure you get right in the roots with it. Doing it. Oh, I'm burning. Fine. Then it's all about turning, so I'm putting a lift and turn at the same time. Because again, it's really important when you try and do something to get that finish. Because you've already spent all that time doing the razoring on the front, you really want to see that finish, which is really important. And of course, you don't want to get any lines in it either, so you just want to try and get it nice. When I say lines, I'm talking about marks. It's got to go right into the roots there. Literally just squeeze it, but again, I'm elevating it really high as I'm doing this, so it just gives me a really nice finish. Okay. Again, Mark and his team created a really, truly stunning product with this wide plate. It's quite nice. It's quite heavy to hold, but I really do like it. It's just great. You really feel as if you've got a really great tool here. Because again, the tool works so well, and that's what you're after when you're working as a hairdresser. Okay, so now that's turning quite nicely. You can really see the finish in there, just really coming together. You can really see those raised angle as it's all working. When we do the photos later, you really sort of see this. In fact, I might just do the whole of the hair with it because it just looks really nice. It's got a great shine. That's what we really want to promote. Again, the 20-in-1 miracle treatment, you can really see that coming into play now as it protects the hair. Really gives it a nice finish. And again, we'll use hot muck serum when we finish off tonight, which will just give us that finished look this evening. Okay, so now come through, that's the first part. You can really see the difference from side to side, just there. Really see how it comes together. You can really see that texture and that definition. Let's show you how it's looking. You can see side too, there you go, look at that bend.
Yeah.
That's really good, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, you see, that's it.
Good.
It's all good, isn't it? Something very, very different. Right, so let's just lose this over there. Just a second, so everything's out the way. Again, the diagonal back sections, we really want to get into that root area so we can really see what's going on. Hold on, where's my grip? Here's my grip, it's here. Right, so now we come back into this way. Again, right into the roots. Again, because we're going against the light now, so you can really see the shine as I'm coming into this. You really see that turn immediately. It just really just gives it that finish. It's quite deceptive, that camera, Dad, when you're using it. It looks like you're filming slightly a different angle.
Yeah.
It does, it really looks different.
I've got it perfect.
Oh no, you'll have it perfect, don't you worry about that. I know that. Thank you. Okay, so now we're coming through, just to bring it through onto the front. If you come on the stairs, Dad, you might just get a better angle on the light. That's what I'm doing, because I've got a really good reflection now, please. Stage right, that's it. There you go, you should see that now nicely. That should really be shining, like a mirror. Let's just get this piece here, that's it. So it just creates a really nice effect, and you can really see that shine as it's coming through. Okay. So now we go back again with a diagonal back section on the top. Again, just to break it up, because the diagonal back section is an important layer to work with. I went to Los Angeles in 2010 and had a training session there, and till that point I've been using the horizontal section, which a lot of people are used to using on sides. And then I put myself into a blow drying class and thought, well, I can blow dry and I know how to blow dry. But again, it's the point here I'm making is that you're never too old to learn, and you can still learn new tricks. Obviously, in that lesson, I then learned how to do diagonal back sections, which now I'm using for you because I use it every day after doing that. Some of you may pick up some new techniques tonight. Some of you may revisit old techniques tonight that you've used to use but forgot how to use them. Some of you may just know these techniques full stop and just be watching, but I think it's good to try something different and just really just go for it against the grain. Right, we were going to use rollers. I'm just going to go with these flat irons that I'm going to use now, these wire plates, and just get the kit going with these tonight. Such a great product. I'm quite excited. Russell Haynes, good to see you tonight, Russell Haynes, which of course Katie's on. Say hello.
Hi, Russ. Hi, Katie.
There you go, you see. Mummy's live tonight.
Yes.
How about that? It's all good, it's live. We are here live tonight. Literally give it a wave.
Hi. And no sweets.
No sweets, sadly. You're not here. Literally. Good to see you with us tonight, Dad. If you go back up on the stairs, is that right, please? Thank you. Should probably get the angle. Right. Just be careful not to trip over. That's it. Be careful. Right, so now what we're doing is we're just slightly coming in with a bend. You can just see that kick coming in there. Again, the emphasis with this is you can really see the shine on here. So when you get home and Katie sees you next time, Olivia, nice to see you with us tonight. Hope you're okay. Good to see you joining us this evening. That's good. That's good.
Carla Hancock.
Carla Hancock, good to see you tonight. Hope you're okay. Good to see you from earlier on tonight. Today, my little cousin there. Oh God, it's embarrassing me. That's it. I'm still working. I've not moved from when you saw me last. Literally. Hey, big mate. Woo, big mate. Good to see you, big mate. Lynn Marie Atkinson and Grace and Cara, of course. Cara, you'll be free to come down and play my guitar when you wish. Just let me know when you want to come down. Big mate, hope your new job's going all right. Of course, that's why I was on later tonight. Because he started his new job. Hope it's going all right. Down at the old Volvo. Which is good to see. I'll keep my eye on you, seeing what's going on. That's the one who said Smoth. We're talking about Smoth. Hopefully this looks Smoth tonight, big mate. Hopefully. I decided to go with the plates. Again, the nice thing with the big plates is you can actually get a nice bend. Because when you use...
Haynes, it's Katie.
Hey, Katie.
There we go, on a minute.
Hi, Katie.
There you go. That's it. Hi, Katie. Ooh, it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. That's nice. It's nice Katie's watching. She'll sort of see Mummy's hair now coming towards the finish, which is nice. And again...
Daddy says I should be in bed, but oh well.
Nice.
You should be in bed.
Well done, Daddy. This is really important because here's a one-off tonight. That you're going to be sort of sitting there watching Mummy have her hair done. It's still cool. So you don't really get this opportunity every day to see this. Mummy going live on Facebook. It's really good. So yeah, so now the idea is you can see it's looking Smoth. We've got a nice little angle going with it. We're going to the next quadrant in a minute. What I was going to say was that when we finish the cut, which will be very, very shortly, I'd say probably the next 7 minutes will be finished. We'll then break and disappear. We'll go off and do the photographs for the finish, and then the photographs will appear hopefully probably tomorrow or certainly within the next few days, and get a chance to really show off the shine and everything that's happening on here. Right, we're into now the last quadrant. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're in the final part. So we'll just come into this now, just to make sure that everything looks nice. Just get that grip that I put in there earlier. Okay, so again, nice clean sections. Again, it's great to showcase the muck wide plate style stick. So again, you can really see it's having to work well tonight, and it's really bringing it all together in harmony with the products, and you can see the shine when it comes off immediately. Just how it changes it. And again, that's what it's all about. You know, as artistic director for the UK and somebody who's employed by Muck, it's a really proud moment for me to be able to share just how good these products are, because that's really what's working on my cut this evening. And again, you can see we've got quite a lot of curl we're working with here tonight, and it all just works in harmony as we bring it all together. So again, there is a hairdryer coming out soon. Muck are producing a hairdryer. I've seen it on video. I've not had the pleasure of holding it yet, so I'm hoping if one of my Australian family members is watching, hopefully you will send over a Muck hairdryer sample and we can have a go with it and hopefully get to use it, maybe put it on one of my live demonstrations. And again, if anybody wants to model here on this, feel free to send me a private message on Facebook, along with a photograph of yourself with your back, side and front photographs, so I can assess what I need to do. And you could be on here too, being the next model, because we're getting very close to model number 50, so as we slowly make our way up there. It's all exciting. Had some good models. I know there's a few watching tonight, so thanks very much for all of you that have modelled and made this what it is. Every time it's special, I always say that. It's really special, and it's also great to be able to showcase the salon as well, so people that have never seen the salon can see what it's like. Because again, it really is nice for people to see what Scott Bailey hairdressing is all about, and muck products. We are currently watching at the moment model number 47, Liz, tonight, and I know Katie's watching because she's staying up, so that's fine, that's good, we don't mind. Okay, so again, just bend it slightly, get a little bit more of an angle there. And again, you can sort of see this finish now, it's coming through. So we've already done the dry relationship of the haircut, that's already been finished, the personalisation, so in a moment we're going to go straight into the finish with the products, and then we'll then go through everything again that we did earlier, and then we'll run off and do the photos. How's your arm, Dad? Does it feel dead?
Oh.
Excellent. That's what Big Mate said once. I don't know how your dad does it. Well, that's it, because it is quite a while to hold it up. It says, but again, it's really important. Okay, so you can now see everything just works in harmony there, nice. Okay, so again, just finishing off, just have a quick look at it, see if there's anything that just needs chipping away. There's a little piece I've just seen that I quite want to just put in those a bit much earlier. Just go in here slightly, lift it out, a little bit of softness there just on the bottom, and again a little bit more just through here. Again, you're looking for something that's nice and natural, like a tachograph, anything that's visual that you don't like the look of, just soften it up. Okay. Right, next product in the wardrobe tonight is Hot Muck. We're going to use the serum tonight, the smoothing serum. So this is a really nice product to use. Again,
I've done, Mummy. I'm going to bed now.
Oh, good night, Katie. See you tomorrow.
good night, Katie. Bye, Katie. Okay, so what we're doing now is bringing hair lacquer first. So you can see a little bit of hair lacquer. Okay, so what we're doing now is literally just come through the side. So what we're doing now is literally just spray it with this hair lacquer. Use the can to emphasise the kick. Okay. So again, you can use that. The circumference of the can's really nice to use. See how that just really grips it a little bit more. It's quite nice. All these little tricks, which again just makes a big difference. A lot of people tend to not try this, but again, if I've taught any of you this that's on here this evening, you can get hold of the hair, put it into the hair, rock it around a little bit, and it finishes quite nicely. So just put some of this in first just to hold it in place. And again, you can use on this as another little piece, you can use well. You can go in with the comb slightly and rock it, and then push it up and spray it. And that just gives you a little bit more lift as well. So just all the little bits you can add to the finish, which is really, really important. So just put this through now, just to make sure everything's right. It's not in Mummy's eye. And then we'll just pop that in as well. So just rock it, push it, spray it. That just literally just finishes it out. Okay, so now we're going to use the Hot Muck. So I'm just going to go tiny amount into the hands, one squirt. It's enough to cover both hands, one squirt will do that. Okay, so smooth it on, instantly you see a change, you can see some shine on there, all the way through, so it's got even distribution. It's a good product, it's nice and thick so you can really sort of feel it. Okay, so now shake it out just a little bit because we want to be able to sort of see some kind of finish what we've got to showcase the layers. And then literally just on the ends, again there's still product on my hand, which is really nice. I'm just from one squirt, so it's real value for money on this. And then really what you're going to do then is just put it through the front, break bits off. Alright, nice smile.
Thank you.
Again through here. And if you wanted to emphasise a little bit more body on the sides, all you do then is get a brush again, so you go back to your brush. And then you get the Fat Muck lacquer, and then spray on the brush lightly. What you're going to do now is bring it into the side, take the side panel, lift it up, pop it on, bring it round to the side, and then all that will do then is emphasise more on the section so you can see it. So let's just go around there a minute, see a bit more body. Because I just think we could do a little bit more on this. I'll do some more and do the photos. Okay, and then again it goes in, because what you're doing is distributing the hairspray into the hair like a mascara wand. So you think about ladies when they put a mascara wand onto their eyes, it distributes products, and this is a nice way to just distribute products underneath there and give it more kick. Okay, let's lose the gown just a second. How do you feel? Totally different.
Yes.
So let's lose that. Let's move the chair. We stand here. That's great. Just right there. That's perfect. That's perfect. Okay, so give us a little twirl. Okay, just nice and slow. Nice and slow. So just nice and steady, so everybody can see at home. Just rotate round. Gives a full 360. That's it. Nice smile. Full 360. Perfect. Okay, straight to the back. Perfect. Right. So this started at the very beginning, which was at the back. We went with a square line at the back, which the key emphasis of this was the angled layer, which we then went with, obviously, as we'll cut in. We decided to then go, middle part was obviously square, rounded on the edge, so then it starts to layer up as you do it, which obviously then gives us the straight line. We then went through the sides. We used C-shaped curvature, which you can see quite clearly there. The razor went in. I used it to glide round to give us the shape. The fingers, as they move, preserve the length, which was really important. We then went back into the back of the hair and we pulled the section out, which the thumb was the key part which led the hair. We went all the way around to the corner of the chair, which is the corner of the section, or the mastoid process, which is the bone behind the ear, which then allowed us to get this shape into the side, which then allows this kick. You would not get that kick without it. We then went through the layer on the top, which was the apex of the occipital bone, which we then rounded, which we then went all the way around, which then allowed me to then face this way towards the guest again and still be able to get that angle. The secret to this was the arm, elevation of the arm, to keep things really, really level. Okay, we then went through the top parts of the parietal ridge, which then did the square layer that came up, and then everything below the parietal ridge is a rounded angle, which then gave us again the looser layer just here, so that, as you see, that just rounds in nicely there, gives us a hard shape angle, and then allows the layer to give us more flick and more turn. That's how that works. Okay, so then we went with softening into the sides and the back, which again gives us a very scattered and soft effect, and onto the face also. We then went into the blow dry, which the important part of that is the diagonal back section, which then allows you to bring it round by using the style stick. Obviously, using that in a section, you can see it's got that little bit of lift in there, and the body, and then using it to flick the back out as well. The key points of the blow dry were using the brush in the correct angle, applying the heat, allowing it to cool, and then it allowed it to flick. You already removed the angle of hair, which then gave it that flick, and also around to the face, holding it still to allow it to cool, to then allow the shape. We then used the products. We used the products, Fatima Blowout Mousse, which was our first product, which was our cutting lotion and styling lotion. We then went into 21 Miracle Lotion, which then was the blow drying lotion, which then gave us the power to finish it. We then went into the next product afterwards, which was the hair lacquer, which then allowed us to give us movement and a little bit of height. And then the last product we used, which was the Crescendo, which was Hot Muck Smoothing Serum. So, and again, not forgetting the Muck Style Stick white plates, which again gave us that angle on there. It's nice. She'll agree tonight that I always want to call you Kate. Liz's hair looks fantastic. She's been a great model. Thank you so much for being a model this evening. Again, many thanks to our product sponsors this evening. Muck, again, if you're watching, you've seen tonight, great product, great result, how it works. Again, on the photos, you'll see how it works. Many thanks to my younger brother, who is for doing all the filming. Ooh, it's a nice one. There is a few names on there tonight. Again, if you'd like me to teach in your salon and your team, go to Scott Bailey Cutting Education on Facebook, and I could be with your team teaching you in your salon. If not, you can come to our salon and also visit here. We'll be back again hopefully next week with another model. We've got a few more people lined up, but in the meantime, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, have a nice week, nice weekend. And from my father, Liz, and myself, lots of love. Have a great weekend, great time, and we'll see you next week. Take care.